Hello there, Parapeeps, and welcome to another episode of Our Haunted Travels. Let's Talk Paranormal Live. I am your host, Sean Donnelly.
I'm your co-host, Marianne Donnelly.
Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern. It's time for Let's Talk Paranormal.
All right.
While we're getting started here, leave us something in chat and let us know how your Valentine's Day went this year.
Ooh.
Yesterday was Valentine's Day.
All right.
Ours was pretty uneventful.
It was.
We elected just to stay home and relax.
We usually do.
Well, no, not normally.
On
This is very
Valentine's Day?
rare that we didn't have an event we were putting on.
Well, that's true. You're right.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Normally we do that murder mystery,
Yes.
at Valentine's Day.
That's true. Yeah. You're right.
I know I'm
absolutely
right. Normally kind of like Valentine's normally like sucks.
We.
Oh, man.
Let's see. So we have Pusha Studio said they had donuts and work. It was just too cold to go out. It was minus 30 Celsius. Holy cow. That is cold.
That's Yankee.
That's Yankee?
Yeah. Can you say his name?
I cannot. So we'll just say Yankee. Yankee has not said what he did for Valentine's Day, but I think he hung out with John a couple times, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so a little disclaimer. We are live, so there is no editing, but Marianne will correct me when I'm wrong.
I will try.
I didn't get the nails last time, but I did get some corrections last time we were live.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad enough to get nails.
Okay.
All right.
All right. If you're watching this on playback, down in the description, I will put links to where we start the topic. We actually have 2 topics to cover today. Actually 3, but thanks, Marianne. But we have 2 topics to cover today, and I'll put the links down in the description. If you want to skip ahead from our house cleaning here and not listen to the updates about our channel and go right to the topic.
Okay.
All right. So, you want to do the introduction?
No.
Why do I ask? You never.
I know. You haven't done it in a while, and so you need to get back into this.
Let's see how good I am. Ready?
All right. We're ready.
see how good I can remember.
All right.
Sean and Marianne Donnelly, owners of PanicD.com, DarkShadowGhostTours.com, and OurHauntedTravels.com.
That's right. There you go. Look at you.
PanicD.com is a database of well over 800 locations across the United States and territories that have paranormal claims. In that database, we document the history, stories, and paranormal reports. In November of 2017...
Look at him.
I'm on that. We started a series called Our Haunted Travels, which documents the locations that we have visited out of that database, and we're over 340 of them.
All right.
Each week we feature a new location on our YouTube channel.
Oh, there's more.
With associated blog posts on our blog, OurHauntedTravels.com. So that's who we are. That's what we're about. See, I remember.
Okay.
Who cares? He gets a cookie. Who cares? All right. Okay. This show, Let's Talk Paranormal, each week we start off with giving you an update of what's happening on our channel. Last week, what's coming up, and we discuss some sort of topic that's related to the paranormal or history or forensics or something. And that's what's going on over here.
All right. So we have a question in the chat.
Absolutely.
Did Sean get a haircut?
Probably about a week and a half ago. 2 weeks. No?
Yeah. Not in the last few days.
Not in the last few days.
Yeah.
I did just get out of the shower, though, so maybe that's why I'm looking kind of dapper.
Okay, then.
Actually, we got everything ready for the show today. And I said to Marianne, I'm going to go lay down for like about an hour. Can you wake me up in an hour? And she gave me the look as if you better go set the alarm.
I was feeling a little drowsy at that time.
So I set the alarm and I hit the snooze. So I woke up about, what?
20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago?
Yes.
Like, oh, we got to go live.
Yeah.
Hopped in the shower, and good thing I had everything set up. So, all right, I'm showing 7. How many are you showing? 7?
7,
All
yes.
right, why don't you go ahead and do a roll call?
All right, let me pull that up as we say. Pusha Studio says, I haven't seen you in a while, and she was impressed. All right, so we have Frosty Dog.
Clean.
Yeah, that you shower.
And I smell yum too.
I'm so sorry. So we have Frosty Dog, we have Haunted by Haunted, we have Inspired John, we have Lori Bryant, we have Yankee, we have Pusha Studios, and we have the Lady Vamp. Excellent.
Well, hello,
nice to
everybody,
see you guys.
and thanks for coming and joining and watching me make a fool of myself. I appreciate it.
There you go. And Inspired John says, Sexy Sean.
That's right.
Yeah, meanwhile, we're talking about what we had did for Valentine's Day, and some had candy, and the candy of choice was salted dark chocolate caramel. So.
Salted caramels are delicious. I still have some left over from Christmas. I'm slowly eating them.
Well, thank you, Pusha Studios.
Pusha
Look
Studios.
at that. And the cute
Thank
little
you very much.
emoji, it looks like a little lemon
The
dancing.
lemon head.
Dancing
All
lemon.
right. So you're not going to do the Pusha super sticker thing. You're just going to emulate the
Yeah, I'm just going to do what the
the dance.
Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
do what the little dancer's doing.
That'll be our signature.
All right, so I was actually just on Facebook, shocker, on my way over.
Yeah, shocker.
And there was a meme that came out in my thing, and since last week we did the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, it says, what's your gangster name? It's the color of your shirt and the last thing you drank. So why don't you guys throw
Black
those
water.
in there?
Black water.
I'm Whitewater. Let's see what everybody else is as you guys go and get ready. Haunted by Haunted said that their wife, kids, and them went snow tubing for Valentine's Day.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yes. ATJH Travels has joined us and says hello as well. Nice to see you.
Now, I have a delay. You're seeing them quicker than...
Yes, I see them quicker than you
Yeah, that's
now. But early in the day, you're a 10 seconds above me, because when we're watching the shows, 10 seconds late I am on you.
That's
but
when
whatever.
we watch other people.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's see. We have Lori Bryant, who is Black Diet Coke. She says it seems unthreatening. Inspired John says Black Mellow Yellow.
Frosty Dodge is white Pepsi.
White Pepsi. Oh, and ATJH Travel is white coffee, I think, maybe spelled wrong. The Lady Vamp is blue hot tea. Nice. All right. So we had a lot of black t-shirts in there today. Yeah,
It happens.
it does.
I wear a lot of black.
You
I never
did.
used to
You
until
used
we
to wear
started
gray
doing...
a lot, and
Yeah.
now you're wearing black more.
Yeah.
And and Yankees, any coffee.
Any coffee. So
So
any
what does
coffee.
that mean? Is he wearing all kinds of shirts or no shirts?
I don't know.
Halos and Heathens is here. It says hello. Nice to see
Hello
you.
there.
And ATJH is green tea or coffee. They're drinking both. Interesting. All right.
Interesting mixture. Okay, so last week on our channel, like you mentioned, we covered the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
We did.
That was fun. We pulled a lot of content out of, like, basically nothing. The SMC Cartage.
Yes.
I knew I was going to
I
screw
knew.
that up at some point.
I know.
The SMC Cartage Company has been in the database for a long time.
Long time.
And when we went to Chicago, that was one of my places that we were going to do northern Chicago, and we got to stop there and go there. Okay, and like we were there for like 2.5 minutes. That's all we had. We pulled 3 videos out of that. And a Behind the Haunting.
That's true.
So
That's true.
the recipe video, the pizza pot pies. I actually had one for lunch.
You did.
The 4th one.
You had the
they
leftovers.
are delicious.
Even leftover, was it pretty
Oh,
good?
it was scrumptious.
Okay.
Even leftover, they were like
All right. Yeah. We
pop
put
them
it
back in the oven,
popped it in
hood
the
it up.
oven.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what we covered last week. Now, okay, I have to word this. I already get yelled at today. I have to word this carefully. Coming up on our channel, we are taking a break from locations. We're not taking a break on our channel. We're taking a break of covering new locations. We're going to take a couple, 2-3 weeks and play catch up. And what that means is there's a couple locations, well, several actually, that we already covered that we didn't quite finish. Like we got to do, Boris has to do Ghost Stories and Folklore from the one museum.
In Chicago. Mm-hmm.
We've got some reports from you guys. You guys are awesome, by the way. Parapeeps have found some paranormal evidence in some of our older videos. I got to put those out. There's an EVP actually in Monticello that was found. So I got to make that video and put it out. Some EVP videos from the Stagecoach Inn. There's just miscellaneous things that I want to get cleaned up before we move forward doing the locations again. And we're just going to start hammering out the locations and probably take us to a travel week.
Ooh.
We got a travel week coming up in March.
We do. Yes.
It's pretty exciting.
That's right. So we have a couple things in the chat. Haunted by Haunted says, it's so weird that they have no marker or anything for the St. Valentine's Day Massacre site.
No marker at all.
It is interesting, but I think it was mainly because they didn't want people just coming there just for
yeah, that's true. They did take down the building because there were a lot of people like us, just visiting. And it's in a neighborhood, so I could see they wanted to cut down on the traffic going there.
Yeah.
Sightseeing.
Yes.
But the tour bus, the crime and gangster or something, tour bus stops there.
They do. For like 30
you don't get
seconds.
out.
Yeah, for like 30 seconds they stop and then they drive on.
Do you want to hear a little story about that? We didn't put it in our videos. There's a quick little story about that.
Tell them.
Should we tell them? Because we're not going to put it in the
ahead.
Patreon video.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that was on the list. We wanted to go there. We knew about the location, but we couldn't give an Uber driver the address of a
building that doesn't
lot.
exist.
So the restaurant across the street, we got that address. That's the one you did the video about, was the restaurant across the street. So that we said, okay, here's where we want you to drop us off. Mm-hmm. Of course, the Uber drops us off and leaves. Now we're in the middle of this neighborhood. No car.
Right.
Nobody around, and it's 18 degrees.
Yes. And we said we were going to eat at that restaurant just because it was almost going to be lunchtime. And we're like, well, we'll just eat there and then we'll go take pictures.
Then we'll get another Uber and then come back. Well, we go over to the parking lot. We're looking around and everything. And then the restaurant is closed. It didn't open for another 2 hours yet.
No, it didn't open for longer than that because I think it didn't open till 4 and we were there at lunchtime. So I think it was...
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think it was a few more.
Either way, we were like stranded.
Yeah, we're like, what am I going to do to eat now?
Yeah. So I'm freaking out. I do anyways if I don't know where I'm at and I don't have directions and what are we going to do and it's freezing cold. So we started walking back towards the direction of our hotel, which was probably about 4.5 miles away.
Yeah.
Hoping we'd come across the restaurant, which we did.
We did. Yeah.
And the restaurant we found
really
was, it was pretty good.
And the restaurant that we ended up at was the first restaurant in Chicago to have a salad bar. So they were like a famous little
RJ
restaurant.
Grunts.
Yes.
Was the name of it.
Yeah.
In Lincoln Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was an interesting little adventure.
It sure was. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So
All right.
we have a few more things here in chat before we go ahead and continue on. So Pusha says that Andrew says that you look flushed and winded after Valentine's Day. And
a little worn out. My electrolytes are low.
Inspired John says, my wife is plaid smoothie.
Plaid smoothie.
Plaid smoothie. Yes. And Halos and Heathens is dark gray bourbon. Let's see, what else did I miss? ATJH Travels says they hadn't had any soda for 15 years, which is crazy.
Who said that?
ATJH Travels.
Wow.
Yeah. And what else was there? There was another one. Plaid smoothie. ATJH Travel said they had their Haunted Travel shirt on the other day, and somebody asked about it, so they did a promo for you. So
cool.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome.
And let's see here. I think... Pusha's laughing about your electrolytes now. All right. I think we're caught up.
Let's talk about the newsletter. Drop the link, panicd.com/EM, please. There, I just told you what it was. You could type it in.
I could probably type it in
panicd.com/EM. There's several links to get to it. Make sure you're signed up on it. It is taking off. It is on fire, but this way you get caught up on all the stuff that we covered and what's going on and some extra things that we're talking about and things that we find. And if you are into what we do, the paranormal, the history, forensics, travel, all that stuff, just get on the newsletter, because that's where everything's at. It normally comes out, probably I'm just going to stay with late Sunday night. It's been working good. I mean, it is skyrocketing as far as subscribers. So if you're not on it, the Parapeeps Insider, please do, especially if you are a creator, okay? Because I put a pause on channels that we are featuring, okay? Mm-hmm. But if you're on the newsletter, that's how I select the channels that we feature. Okay? So make sure you're on there and you're checking that out. All right. So I think we're ready to get going with this other stuff. OurHauntedTravels.com. I talked about that last week. I'm going to bring it up again. The blog site. And I'm just going to show you an example, because I think most of you in here saw the recipe video.
The pizza pot pies.
Pizza pot pies. Let's see.
Yeah, I tried to be like really cutesy and throw that pizza dough up. It was such a tiny little one. It's like, I can't believe I actually didn't drop it.
OurHauntedTravels.com. This is our blog site, but this is the blog post that was associated with the recipe. Okay. This image right here is so I could pin it to Pinterest. That's been working out great, getting us some traffic. There's a picture of that restaurant that we were just talking about where we got dropped off and what that recipe is about. There's the embed of the recipe there and some pictures and so on and so forth. However, if you did see the recipe video and in any of ours, and you see Marianne has those little oven mitts, we now have our affiliates set up, and there's where you could get your own Boris oven mitts and measuring cups and the ramekin she used, and of course some merch there. Yes. There's the
but we actually had
and a dish towel that was in the video.
Yes, we actually had somebody on Facebook actually ask where I got my gloves, so that's why we ended up sticking that on there. So.
Yeah. Now I could put the links on the videos, but hey, they're there. OurHauntedTravels.com. You can just look them up. There's actually a category called recipes, and there'll be more recipes in there as I get the blog post done.
All right, and Pusha wants to know, did you put those in the video description too?
I think I just said that. You weren't paying attention to me.
Neither one of us probably was. I was reading chats.
No, I did not. Because I don't have that. I have to go back and get the single links.
Oh, okay.
Those are image links.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So I haven't had time. But
all right.
I could do that.
All right.
So, OurHauntedTravels.com. Okay, you're up.
I'm up?
You're up.
All right. Oh, this one. Okay, got it.
Yeah, museum
do I
item.
Do I have
formerly
a
known as No, I haven't made it yet.
Okay.
Marianne's eBay update is now a museum item.
There we go.
All right, so go ahead.
So here is my item for today. And as we were out at the 18-degree visit to the St. Valentine's Day Massacre location, of course it was November, and so there were leaves on the ground. So I picked up one of the leaves from the location. So this is my piece today in the collection, is a leaf from the St. Valentine's Day Massacre location.
All right. That's going in the museum.
So it's in the museum. Yep.
Well, it's going in there. I haven't added it yet. It's on the to-do list.
Yes.
Okay. Forensic update. Do you want to talk about that? I don't have a graphic, but you could talk about it.
Sure.
This is the link to this. What she's going to talk about is in the newsletter.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, if you remember a week or so ago, we had a new fingerprinting technique that would tell if you were taking marijuana. This one here is a fingerprinting technique that they've now come up with that they can determine if you are using cocaine. And actually, if you're using cocaine or have just been in the presence of cocaine, like from on money or something else that it was like spilled on or had traces of. So they can actually tell if you're a user just from your fingerprint now. But they can't do it on the street. it does take a larger facility to do the chromatography and things like that. So it's in the works to become more user friendly, but they can do it. So that was kind of cool.
Good to know.
So Pusha Studio says, what if I handle money and don't know? And that's exactly it. We can tell if you handled money that was in the cocaine trade. And we'll know that you didn't take it.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, so Halos and Heathens looks like they have to hit the road and run out for a while. So thank you very much for coming.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Make sure you stop back and see the haunting information later.
Yeah, all right, so let's move on to, okay, so we don't have one historical thing this time because Marianne was an overachiever. She's got multiples, all right? So
and they're all from today.
Yeah, today in history. So I know inspired, this is like Inspired John's Today in History thing, scaled down a little bit to more like Today in Creepy History. Creepy haunted history.
Well, as I get into that, his counterpart here, Yankee's like, what if I'm careful not to touch my cocaine?
Wear gloves.
Well, it's going to be a chemical reaction with your body, and that's what they're actually testing is the chemical reaction. They're testing for a specific chemical. All right, but anyways. We digress. All right, history. What's happening today? Today is the introduction of the teddy bear.
Today meaning February 15th.
Today meaning February 15th. Yes, back in 1903, they brought out the teddy bear for the first time. It was created by Morris and Rose Mitchum, who founded the company called Ideal Novelty and Toy Company, which would later become just the Ideal Toy Company. And they, of course, made this in relation to that newspaper article that had the cartoon, of course, about how the president did not kill the poor little bear that was chained to the tree.
The little bear cub.
Yeah, the little bear cub, yeah. And this is the same company, by the way, that also makes the Rubik's Cube, or made the Rubik's Cube. They kind of went out of business as they got bought out or whatever a couple years back. And, of course, Betsy Wetsy, if you had a Betsy Wetsy doll when you were younger. This is also an important day for assassination attempt. This was the assassination attempt in 1933 of President-elect at the time, Franklin D. Roosevelt. He was 17 days from his inauguration, and someone came by named Giuseppe Zangara.
Giuseppe, there's the back again.
He was an Italian immigrant who was supposedly associated with the Chicago underworld. I know, right? Ties right into last week. And he got off 5 shots before he was tackled and taken down. He did not get the president-elect, but he did get the Chicago mayor. His name was Anton Cernak, and they think that he might have actually been the real target. That was what some consensus were saying, unsubstantiated, of course. But he supposedly, when he did the shooting, he shouted out, "Too many people are starving," and then started shooting. Said it was because he had a stomach ache for a long time. All right, we also have very influential poster. The Rosie the Riveter We Can Do It poster came out today. It was created by artist Howard Miller, and it was produced for the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company back in 1942. And this was put out today on February 15th. Then we have a sad event. Pusha, by the way, said that was a classic. There was a sad event that happened in 1961. This is the time when the entire U.S. figure skating team was killed in a plane crash just outside of Brussels Airport. They were on their way to an event, and everyone on board was killed. So that was very sad. And this one is actually for Pusha Studios and all the rest of our Canadian friends out there. In 1965, I didn't realize it was like this late, but in 1965, the red maple leaf flag became the official flag for Canada, which is something I didn't realize was so recent. And then this one here, the last one I've got, 1992, Jeffrey Dahmer. He was found sane and guilty of killing 15 boys. And we have a picture. So I started with the teddy bear that had the pictures that we saw when we were there. And we're ending with Jeffrey Dahmer picture from the Ohio State Reformatory. The Ohio Penitentiary closed and all the materials went to the Ohio State Reformatory for a penal museum. And there's the pictures then that we got to see of him being admitted, his intake photos and things like that. So, this day in history.
Alrighty. Good job.
I thought those were all really cool ones, and I couldn't leave any of those ones out. Sorry it took so long.
Overachiever. Couldn't pick just one.
No.
There's only one in the newsletter, I think the teddy bear.
The teddy bear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So, I think we're ready to start our topic
Okay.
at this point.
All right. Well, they did say lots of cool info, so they liked it.
Well, that's all that matters.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so we're going to ask you guys in chat here, which one would you like us to cover first? We got 2 topics to go over.
Ooh, so they get to decide.
They get to vote which one we're going to do first, and then we'll do the other one when we're done with that.
Very democratic of you.
Yeah. So, topic number 1, and you can just say topic number 1 or topic number 2. Topic number 1 is Valentine traditions across the globe.
Okay.
Or topic number 2, which is ghost stories related to soulmates and lost love and creepy stuff.
Okay.
So which one would you like to do first? Let us know in chat.
Before you even finish, Lori says, cover the first one first.
So that would be topic 1.
Yes. Tanya Lambert wants 2. Pusha Studios wants 2. Lori Bryant wants ghost stories, so she must have changed her
2.
mind. Lady Vamp says 1. Frosty Dog says 2. So it looks like the majority of them are 2s,
first.
which is what I said they would pick. Do I know my pair peeps?
Sure you do. All right. So give us just a minute here. We're going to switch screens out, and we will be right back.
Oh, so it's commercial time.
Yeah, quick little commercial.
All right.
And we want to thank our Patreon supporters.
Yes.
So this is how we thank them. All right. All right, we are back.
All right, so while we were gone there, Yankee said he wanted number 2. Tanya Lambert said, we're predictable. And then they started singing the let's go out to the lobby. So I said, and have ourselves a snack. So that's what they said they're doing. All right.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
All right,
ready
here we
to
go. Let's start out with number 1. Now, I do have to say that I am not sure that this is the correct governor's mansion, but this is the Marshall, or the governor's mansion in Marshall that does have paranormal claims. Now, I spent an hour and a half trying to match this, and I said, we're just going with that picture because I got to move on today.
So it's a governor's mansion.
It's a governor's mansion. I don't know exactly.
It does have paranormal claims, but it might not be this paranormal.
All right,
claim.
you want to go ahead and do that one?
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so in 1864, there was a 19-year-old boy who shot himself in the head in the bedroom of the governor's mansion because there was a woman that he loved that refused his hand in marriage. Those women, I'm telling you, they're evil. For years, nobody would sleep in the room because of unexplainable banging sounds, and then it was sealed off. And it wasn't opened until sometime after the Civil War. And then in 1925, it was reopened, and people still report hearing muffled sobs coming from the room.
Man, that's interesting. Interesting stuff. All right, Longfellow's Wayside Inn.
All right. Joshua Howe is said to still haunt the Massachusetts inn that she lived in and worked in. She fell in love with a British man who promised to return to America and marry her. But she died a single woman. She patiently waited for 44 years. And she enjoys currently teasing guests of the inn while she continues to wait for her long-lost love.
Yeah, that's a bit dramatic. Poor guy.
Yeah. Well, she waited 44 years for her, so that's pretty sad, too. Poor girl.
All right, this one's at college. Henderson State University.
All right, at Henderson University, there was a young boy that was once at a Methodist college and fell in love with a girl from the nearby Baptist University. Friends convinced the boy to stop seeing the girl that he loved because of their different religions. He asked someone else then to go to homecoming. When this love found out that he was taking somebody else, she was so distraught that she committed suicide, and students now call her the Black Lady. And every year during homecoming, she supposedly wanders the halls of the women's dorms at Henderson State University looking for the girl who stole her love from her.
Ooh, you're getting creepy. Did you turn the lights on back there?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, these are, of course, ghost stories and folklore related to lost love, jilted soulmates, whatever you want to call it.
By the way, you did not look at the timestamp, so remember that later.
Ooh, yeah. I did.
It was about 31 minutes
31, I'm going to write that
ish. All right.
31 minutes.
All right, so you got the next one up and running for me?
I do. There you go.
All right. The next one is Chatham Manor. The lady in white here is said to wander along the path that leads to the Rappahannock River. She is in search of her soulmate. See, her father, an Englishman, brought her to Chatham House in a desperate attempt to destroy her romance with a commoner. A commoner. Her lover followed her to America, and the two then planned to run away together. But their plans were discovered, the boy was arrested, and the girl quickly taken back to England. The girl vowed to return to Chatham Manor to find the boy she loved. She was first seen wandering the path in June of 1790, the day she died. And it is rumored that every 7 years on the anniversary of her death, she is seen. And that's June 21st. So if you're around Chatham Manor on June 21st and it's 7 years past, you might want to check it out.
Yeah, that's when you want to definitely do a little bit of investigation. All right, this next one, we actually were just there.
We were.
Not that long ago.
We were. And as you're setting that up, Pusha Studio says there's always either a black lady or a white lady. What's up with the rest of the colors?
But you bring up a good point. We're actually, maybe next week or the week after, we're actually going to do a whole show on the lady in white, the lady in red, the lady in green, and whatever, the lady in whatever, just all the reports around the world I found, which is quite interesting.
White, black, gray, and red are the most common, but white is the most common.
Number one's white, then gray.
Yeah. But
there are other colors, so...
Okay, and Haunted by Haunted says the only other color I've heard of are the legends of the Green Man. And Yankee says, spirits haven't invented Technicolor yet. Oh my. All right. In any case, this next one here we have is the Strouds Run State Park. In this past summer, we visited there. In 1962, in the fall.
That's actually your picture.
It is, yeah. That was when I was down there by the bees, I think.
Yeah.
The Ohio State University instructor Gene Isaac Stees hit his pregnant woman over the head with a crowbar.
Pregnant wife.
Then...
You said woman. Wife.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wife.
Okay.
I thought I said wife. But anyways, and then he not only struck her across the head with a crowbar, he then put a plastic bag over her head and dumped her into Dow Lake, which was near the park. And people reportedly see the ghost of Mrs. Stees walking around the edge of the water here. He was arrested for this, but he escaped prison in 1972 and was never caught.
Yeah.
So she perhaps might just be looking for him.
It could be. That's why we went down there looking for her.
That's true. We did go looking for her.
It definitely wasn't to go canoeing.
That's one of the places that we lost satellite.
Yes, we got lost in the
we
mountains.
lost reception.
Couldn't make our
Cell
way
reception
back.
was gone. And Pusha wants to know, what about the ghost of the unborn baby? I haven't heard
no reports of
there
that.
are any baby sounds or anything like that. Yeah. Frosty Talk says, that's tough love if I ever heard of it. Yeah. You could say that. All right. What do we have next?
All right. Next one is Emily's Bridge.
Emily. Legend here has it that a girl named Emily was in love with a boy that her parents, shocker, didn't approve of. They arranged to meet at the Gold Brook Bridge to run away together. When he didn't show up, she took the rope that she'd used to tie her sack of belongings together and hung herself from the bridge. People have since reported hearing banging, footsteps, and a girl screaming as the ropes were tightening. These people are so dramatic.
Yeah, but if as you read these and as you listen to them, okay, you're starting to see a pattern. You know what I mean? There's like a pattern through these. So that's what brings to my attention, is looking at the pattern. It's almost like this bad thing happened, here's what continues to happen, that kind of thing, and the types of the way they met their death and things like that.
And it's funny you should bring that up, because actually Yankee brought that up kind of as well here in chat. We have a spot here called Crybaby Lane where all the children that died, there were a lot of children that died, and they claim that you can hear them crying. And Crybaby Bridges are a big one too.
Yep, there's one in Newton Falls too. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Casablanca Inn, we were there. This is actually in our book.
Yes, this is one of our locations. The Casablanca Inn is down in Florida.
Yep, St. Augustine.
St. Augustine, yeah. Here, a widowed innkeeper fell in love with a rum runner during the Prohibition, who, of course, made his living smuggling alcohol into the U.S. on his boat. The innkeeper would keep watch on her roof, and she would signal with a lantern if it wasn't safe to come in from sea, because, of course, there were federal agents patrolling the area. And so it happened that on a stormy night, she did see these agents patrolling, and she waved the lantern to warn her lover. And she never saw him again. So people still today report seeing a woman standing on the roof waving a light back and forth, looking for her lover. So we've got something going on in chat here, something that Yankee's providing some information. They're asking what happened. So let me see what we've got going on here. No. Legend claims a ghost will make your phone ring out, but there will be no caller identification. No one on the other end. During my live show, my phone started ringing when I was on that location. What location was that? I gotta scroll higher. Must scroll higher. Let's see. I don't know if I missed it. If you can drop where that was again in the chat, I don't quite see it.
Crybaby Lane.
Oh, the Crybaby Lane? Is that the one? Okay. All right. So that's pretty cool. Interesting.
So Haunted by Haunted says, St. Augustine is such a haunted area. Definitely wanted to visit there some point. Well, before you go, I suggest you picking up a guide, which happens to be our first book that is out there on Amazon. St. Augustine. Thank you for that segue. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh,
goodness gracious.
I gotta read more books. That's the only thing I got out there.
I know. And I gotta make another coloring book, too.
Yeah. We don't have enough time. All right. So, Dawn's CeSar Hotel.
All right. This one
This
here.
is actually an interesting story. We covered this one before, I think, in Ghost Stories and Folklore. Maybe last year this time.
Okay. Thomas Rowe was studying in Europe when he fell in love with a woman named Lucinda. Lucinda's parents, hello, didn't approve of their relationship and forbid her to see him. Rowe eventually returned to America and one day received a letter from Lucinda. On her deathbed, she had written, "Time is infinite. I wait for you by our fountain to share our timeless love. Our destiny is time." But when Rowe built the Don CeSar Hotel, he included a replica of their fountain, and lovers have been spotted holding hands and strolling by it on many occasions.
Yeah, that's a cool story.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
All right.
All right, and then we have
Do you see the screen, by the way? Do you have any, like, how that's set up? You like that?
It's lovely.
Yeah, you don't care. All right, go on.
I don't know what's on the bottom of it. Oh, okay. Is that changing? Or yeah, it's changing. Okay. Look at you. Let's see here. Yankee says, we have several hundred locations over here in the northwest part of Ohio. Panic needs to come over this way. I know we do. We do.
Not today.
Not today. But Irish Whiskey Paranormal's joined us as well. So nice to see you. All right. The 1790
Actually, Yankee, we might be
Inn.
over by you in April. The end of April.
April.
Toledo Conference.
Oh, yes. If we go to that, yeah.
Yeah. That's the end of April, I think. If they still have it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
They had an unfortunate event happen, so
Yep.
we'll see. All right. The 1790 Inn. I like how they have the name of that one. Here, a servant girl named Anna fell in love with a sailor while working in the inn. When he left, she couldn't stand the sight of his ship disappearing down the Savannah River and threw herself into the brick courtyard. Guests have spotted the broken-hearted Anna rocking chairs, opening windows, and walking up and down the stairs, waiting for her sailor to return. I don't know. Does it mean that I don't have true love? Like, I have never had the desire to jump off of a building or anything when you walked away or when you drove away or anything like that. Like, to wait for you would be too long. Like, I don't know.
Your desires going, yeah, he's gone, he's gone.
I don't know. I mean,
Barney!
have any of you in chat had the desire to jump off of a building or anything like that when your love was going away for a while, or you were? I don't.
These are ghost stories and folklore. Okay.
I know, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm a horrible person because I haven't had the desire to jump off a building for you. I'm sorry. I do love you, dear.
All right, this next one's cool. We've stayed here.
We did. We stayed in this building. Marrero's down in Key West.
We haven't covered this yet on
We
our
have
channel.
not?
We've had some interesting stuff happen here.
Yeah. Should we tell them or should
No,
we make them wait?
we'll wait till we do the video.
But we did spend a night in this building. Marrero's guest mansion was built in 1889 by Francisco Marrero.
Francisco.
Yes. He was a prominent cigar maker who fell in love with a girl named Enriqueta. He built the mansion in the intention of luring his young love to the island. He was successful because his bride enjoyed the life on the island. Only problem was, Francisco was already married. Details, you know? Yeah.
Details.
So he was already married in his home country of Cuba, and so after he died, his first wife found out about the marriage and the estate in Key West. So she came to the island with lawyers in tow and had Enriqueta banished from the mansion, along with her 2 children. And before leaving, Enriqueta announced, "I will always remain in spirit." And she apparently does remain in the house after her death. Both guests and hotel staff have felt her presence in the house. Apparently the strongest in room 18.
Which is the room we stayed in.
But everyone is quick to agree she is a benevolent spirit and just keeping her eye on things. It is said that if she dislikes you, though, in some way, she will sway the chandelier back and forth. And guests who have stayed in the room have often gotten a visit from her. She enters the room looking for her hairbrush, getting ready for bed. And she is felt sitting on the edge of the bed, and people smell her lavender perfume.
Yeah, she does a couple other things too. We'll talk about that when
If that was her. All right.
All right, I think this is... No, we got 2 more.
Okay. 2 more. Look at us. We're rolling right along. We're going to get these all in.
Oh, we're doing good.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time.
Yes. All right. The next one is the Seeley Rose House.
This
and
one
for
we
those
did
of
cover
you,
on
yes,
the channel.
some of you in chat were actually in our live streams for the Seeley Rose House. We did a Behind the Haunting on this.
Mm-hmm.
Seeley Rose, of course, was the teenager who once lived there. She was a little killer, but it's a white house that's not too far from the main farmhouse in the park for Malabar Farms. And what happened there in 1896 still scares some of the visitors. Seeley Rose reportedly confessed to a neighbor what she did to her family when she had a crush on a boy. She had a crush on the boy down the road.
The neighbor boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And her family didn't want them to wed. Of course, she was a little bit slow, and so we're not even sure if he had any if he believed in the love back. But what she did was she soaked fly paper in water and secretly poured this arsenic-laced water then over the cottage cheese she served them. This, by the way, became our second food video that we did.
How to make the
how to make the cottage cheese.
Arsenic-free cottage cheese.
In any case, her mother, Rebecca Rose, her father, David Rose, and her brother, Walter Rose, all died within weeks, and she was committed to a mental institution then until her death in age 83. And reportedly, sometimes late at night, you can see a younger woman staring out the top window as she's looking for someone in the fields, supposedly that little boy that she liked.
Yep.
Yes. And Pusha says, I remember cottage cheese.
That was the Seeley Rose house.
Yes.
All right, now this next one, I could not find a picture either, so that picture doesn't relate to...
Okay.
Because every time I Googled Santa Clara house, I was looking at real estate in Santa Clara. I couldn't match it to the paranormal report, so...
Okay. So this one, a young married woman had an affair with a traveling salesman from San Francisco. When she found out that she was pregnant with his child, she hung herself in her attic, and the former Victorian home is now a restaurant that customers have seen her wandering around the upstairs ladies' bathroom in, and of course she's also seen staring out the window, waiting for her lover to come back to her.
Good job.
Yes.
All right.
All right, so those were some of those haunted locations associated with lost love. Yes. All right, Supernatural Lost Adventures has joined us. Nice to see you. And Urban Viking Explorers is here. Nice to see you. Irish Whiskey Paranormal says, I partied when my ex moved halfway across the U.S. Let's see what else. Inspire John says, I enter rooms and forget why. Glad she knew why she entered. What else? I think that's pretty much all that we need to say. People are always staring out windows too, says Inspire John. Yeah,
it's kind of like there's a pattern, especially when you do what I do and comparing all of them together. It's like the same thing, like the Crybaby, where it skips from town to town, the town skipper reports and things like that. But what's cool is when you go to those places and you start digging in and doing investigations, and you start getting something that matches some of the claims, and You're good. You know, you go, this is interesting.
Right.
All right. So at this point, we're ready to start our next topic.
Topic 2, 5:52.
Yeah, 5:52. We got 8 minutes.
No, Mark.
Oh, 5:52.
5:52, Mark.
5:52 mark. Okay.
All right. So this is going to be the segment on different traditions for Valentines across the globe. Now, not all Valentine's Day is celebrated necessarily on Valentine's Day that we've celebrated on. There's different days throughout the year as well. And in some places, it's multiple days that they celebrate Valentine's Day. So we are going to talk about some of those and some of those dates. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All
Here
right.
we go.
Make it happen, Captain.
Boom.
All right. The first one is Saint Jordi or Saint George. This is the patron saint of Catalonia and is widely revered in Spain. And he is most famous for the Saint George and the Dragon story, where he slew his dragon to save a princess in a tower. Does sound kind of familiar. He is then the inspiration for many tales of heroism, bravery, and chivalry. And on April 23rd, the people of Spain will celebrate their dragon-slaying hero by presenting gifts to those they love. Specifically, they give away books. Sounds like a great place. I love books.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So booksellers...
Throw a book at me for Valentine's.
Well, maybe not in the head.
You would. Here, read this.
Well, on St. Jordi's Day, booksellers will put out sidewalk stands and offer sales to people so that they can get these books for their loved ones. And it's customary for men to give a single red rose to the important people, the important women in their lives, along with those books. So wives, mothers, daughters, you know, those kinds of things.
Oh, this one's your favorite one.
Yeah, I love this one. This one's the Love Spoons. On January 25th, in Wales, they celebrate the patron saint of lovers, Saint Dwynwen.
I can see if you're going to pronounce these.
Yeah, Dwynwen. 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 In any case, this is the day that love is celebrated by gift giving, but instead of just normal presents, they actually give each other spoons that they carve themselves. So when a man is interested in a woman, he carves an elaborate wooden spoon and he presents it to her. If she accepts it, this means that the couple is engaged. And, well, I don't quite agree to the engagement part anymore necessarily, but if she accepted it in the past, it was considered the couple to be engaged. Or they just kind of exchange these spoons, and I think it's so sweet. I love it.
Okay, we got some stuff popping up
in the chat. Okay. So Irish Whiskey says the Santa Clara house has a couple of names attached to it. It's also known as the Big Green House and Carlo Hahn House, or the Tavern, which it operates as now. So we need to write that down for future references. This one here is coming up, Pusha Studios. I have that one. I think did you put the black noodles in there? Black noodle soup one. I know that one is in here. But Pusha Studio says, and if you don't get together, you're supposed to eat black noodle soup on April 16th as a sign of still being single. Yes, I have that somewhere in here if he put that there. And yes, Pusha Studios, the other one that you have here, said Sunny J in the chat yesterday, mentioned one from Japan, and I do have that one for sure if he put it in there about February and March 14th. And so those are coming up. Those will be coming up. All right. So you have the picture up for the next one. I'm going to go ahead and do this while you finish writing down those names.
I got it.
So this one here is from Slovenia, and this one coincides with the beginning of spring celebrations. And so when flowers are in bloom and the birds are singing...
Thank you, Irish Whiskey, by the way.
Yes. Women are encouraged to go outside and look in the sky for answers, and the first bird they see will supposedly tell them what their future husband will be like. So I guess you gotta hope that the right type of bird comes
hopefully
along.
you'll see a vulture.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
All right. Now, all of you, I'm sure, have heard the expression of wearing your heart on your sleeve. And in South Africa, they actually do. South Africans celebrate Valentine's Day by actually pinning paper hearts on their sleeves that have the name of their lovers or hopeful lovers on their sleeve. And for many boys, this is how they actually learn who their secret admirer is. So they wear their heart on their sleeve that says who they want to be with.
Aww.
Yeah.
Next.
Wow, you don't like the sappy ones, huh? Lort.
No, I want to see if you can pronounce this.
I am not good at French. Lotiere d'Amour. Anyway,
It's
this
French.
it's French. It's now old and banned. It's a tradition that translates to the lottery of love. Single people used to sit in two houses that faced each other and would take turns yelling the names of someone in the opposite house that they were interested in. The two would then pair off and enjoy the day. The most fun aspect of the day came for women who didn't get paired, either by not getting called or by having their partner leave after them. Leave them after the lottery. All the remaining single women would start a massive bonfire and burn the images of the men who had left them. It was common also for the women to curse the men as they burned their pictures. It's probably pretty therapeutic, but often things got out of hand, and because of that, the French government has banned this whole event.
No more.
They're not allowed to do it anymore.
No more. All right, let's move on to Germany.
Germany, they have the ginger biscuits. Gingerbread just isn't for Christmas anymore. Nothing says anything like a giant heart-shaped ginger biscuit. They come with a ribbon attached to it so that it can be dropped around the shoulders of the lucky recipient. So they give them to the one they love. Lady Vamp said that one is my favorite. I bet you it was the French one where they were burning things. Oh, goodness. All right. Then we have South Korea. They have White Day. Contrary to most Valentine's Day celebrations in the world, in South Korea, it's the men. And this one here is where the men will get presents from the women. Women flock to the stores to buy chocolates to give to all the important men in their lives. And then, of course, a month later, they have White Day on March 14th, and it's the men's job to return the favor. This is the day that the men are supposed to give chocolates to the women who gave them chocolates. So it's a chocolate for a chocolate.
Look at what Haunted by Haunted said.
Haunted by Haunted. Great idea for all those stale leftover gingerbread cookies from Christmas. There you go. Just put a little love name on there,
It's
and
kind of
we're good to
Madonna.
go. Oh, Yankee said, I made heart-shaped pancakes. I made you heart-shaped pancakes one year.
Yeah, that was probably before we got married.
Yeah, maybe. It was a long time ago. I know that.
I did get well, they weren't cinnamon rolls. They were
chocolate
chip, whatever. They were good. It was
Yeah.
good enough for me.
Okay. They were chocolate chip biscuits.
Yeah, they were quite delicious.
Yes. All right. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the Denmark version here.
Okay, but it
there's not
translates
even.
to joke letters.
Yes. Yes.
There's a lot of vowels in that word.
There are. I'm just like, what's that? All right. This is one of the ways people in Denmark celebrate Valentine's Day. The letters themselves aren't the joke, just the signature. Why are you laughing?
Yankee, come on, guys. I've been married for 35 years and I still made heart-shaped pancakes.
Well, see, maybe it's the guys should be making us the heart-shaped pancakes like you made yours, Yankee. See, Sean should have
Thanks,
made
Yankee.
me the heart-shaped
Appreciate
pancakes.
it, Yankee.
All right,
She's
back
gonna
to
go
the
burn
joke
my
letters.
pictures out in the front yard here when we're done.
Back to the joke letters.
Okay.
All right. So what happens for the joke letters is they cut these ornate little paper snowflake-like items, and they might write some love letters along with it. But they will put their name just by dots. So they put a dot for every letter of their name, and the recipient has to try to figure out who sent it to them. Now, if the sender is figured out, wait a second.
Oh, this one's complicated.
Yeah, the sender has, if the recipient correctly guesses who it is, the sender has to give that person a decorated egg at Easter. But if they don't get it right, then the sender has to get an egg from that person for Easter.
That one's a little complex.
It is a little bit complex, but I think it's interesting that they put the dots for the name, so I wonder how many...
I don't have the Japan one.
You don't have that one?
No.
Bad, Sean, you took it
I
out.
thought that was in there, but okay.
Okay.
Must not have included that one. All right.
Well, it was close to the other one, so... All right. This one here is the Philippines, where they have mass weddings on Valentine's Day.
Throw a raw egg at him. If you get it wrong, you get hit in the head with a raw egg.
Just so it's decorated. And Frosty Dog says, that sounds difficult with some of those super long Danish names. Yeah. All right, so in the Philippines, they have a mass wedding. Basically, what happens is they take place everywhere from parks to shopping malls and everywhere in between, and they tend to attract those who've been married even for many years. They celebrate the opportunity to renew their vows on Valentine's Day, and the government even sponsors a handful of these in the name of public service. But they just go everywhere and have mass weddings. That's very, very sweet.
Okay, last one.
The last one and 604, we came out pretty close.
I told you we'd
Look
get
at
it
that.
right.
All right. So, of course, we didn't get every country of the world, and we did miss, he didn't put some of the ones in, that we talked about in chat. But in the UK, they have a bay leaf tradition. It spans back several centuries to where the women of England would place bay leaves at each corner of their pillow the night before Valentine's Day. And this concept was to encourage sweet dreams, and it was thought that an individual carrying out the tradition would see their future husband as they slept. It's not quite as popular anymore, but maybe somebody they know, somebody in chat or something might know somebody looking for their love, and they might give it a try. Bay leaves next year. We should have done that one like last week. Test it out.
Yeah.
But bay leaf in the corner of each, that sounds really kind of cool. See your future love.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. What do we got in chat? Frosty Dog, you get a wedding, and you get a wedding, and you get a wedding. Pusha Studios. Was it Danny's in Las Vegas that did free weddings yesterday? Let's get married and have bacon and pancakes at the same time. All right. And Lady Vamp says, I found my future love. Me. All right. Okay.
So we couldn't decide what we were going to do for a topic. I was picking the ghost story ones, and then we were like, well, it's Valentine's Day, we should do traditions, and so we just did them both.
Yes.
Who cares?
And we ran through them, and we got them done.
Got them done. All right.
And we even had some history stuff today, too.
We did.
We did. And forensics, we did it all.
Got
Look
it all
at that.
done.
All right.
We're very efficient.
Yes.
Now I need to go back and take another nap.
Yeah. Yankee says, remind me when you guys come over this way, and I'll guarantee to have a bunch of bay leaves in my backpack along with sage.
All right.
Haunted by Haunted says, so if they were seeking a lover yet warding off evil spirits, they would have bay leaves on their pillow and sage on the other. Oh, goodness.
That would be an interesting combination.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, folks. Hey, we want to thank you for coming and playing with us, spending your time with us over here at Our Haunted Travels. It's been fun.
Yes.
We will be back next week, and I think we're going to do that Lady in White, Lady in Red.
You think that's
thing.
what you're going to topic?
I think so. I think so. Maybe. If not, it'll be coming up.
Okay.
Depends. I need to wrap up this week and start going over what we need to clean up. Something may pop up that I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right. Hey, thank you, Inspired John.
There, you're supposed to mimic the...
Let's see. I'm trying to see. What is it doing? He's doing... All right. Thank you, Inspired John, very much.
Thank you
we appreciate that. And
you.
thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight and spending time with us. We do appreciate you.
All right. Until next time.
Thanks for watching.
And happy hunting. Let us know if you like this video by hitting that thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to see more videos from us in the future, support our channel by hitting that subscribe button and dinging that bell so you get notified the next time there's a video from Panic D Videos.
Thanks for watching.
Happy hunting.